In this edition, we are joined by Luke James, who is primarily with the Hockey Writers. Luke James, why don't you give us a little update? Is it primarily just the Hockey Writers that you work for, or you're kind of more of a freelance writer? Is that right?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm a freelance writer from the UK. I cover the Capitals for the Hockey Writers. I cover kind of ice hockey here in the UK for a website called British Ice Hockey, and I do lots of soccer pieces for various different websites. So yeah, that's the kind of work that I'm doing at the minute.
All right. Well, Luke, thank you so much for joining us on this edition. I was reading your article in the Hockey Writers and just the draft. That is one of the things that the Capitals really need to target and hone in on. Is getting some really great draft picks. I know that the Capitals have kind of kicked the can down the road and they've traded away a lot of draft picks. That's part of the perils of being in win now mode, is that you want to get rid of draft picks for this win now mode. But the Capitals are facing a rebuild, and I think that they need to make some prudent decisions when it comes to the draft. And one of the players you were talking about is Yuri Kulich, left wing. What do you know about him? Where do you see him fitting in with the Capitals organization?
Yeah, so Kulich is a really interesting player. He's not had an electric year in terms of offensive production, kind of in his pre-draft year, but he's someone who's really talented. He can play center, he can play on the left wing. There's three things that I really like about this guy in particular. He's quick, has really good hockey IQ, he can play both ways. They're the things that stand out about him thus far, and I think the fact that he's been playing kind of men's hockey in the Czech Republic is also kind of something that's always handy when you're looking at European prospects. Negative sides of him: consistency game to game and shift to shift. He can go missing at times, and he's not quite there physically yet. But again, worth bearing in mind when we're talking about European prospects, he is playing against guys who are in their 20s and 30s, as opposed to what he'd be up against kind of his peers if he were playing in North America. So yeah, I think he's a guy who's really interesting. In terms of where you're looking at him slotting in the draft and whether he's going to be attainable to the Capitals at 20th overall, he's somewhere in the range between 18 and the 30s. So yeah, he's someone who they should plausibly